I'm Andrew Phillips. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use this Fast Setting Concrete mix by Sakrete. Let's go ahead and get started. Here's the bag, and you'll find this at Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those type of places, but this is really good stuff here. It's actually a no-mix concrete, mainly used for setting fence posts. It's completely dry after 30 minutes. It sets in just a couple minutes, so it's easy if you're moving, so that way it doesn't hold you up waiting to 24 hours. But it's a little more expensive, not much, just a couple bucks more than a regular concrete mix, but it requires 24 hours. But I'll get a close-up here of the bag, and then we'll kind of backtrack, and I'll show you where you can get it, and then prepping the hole ready for the fence posts. I just went to the local Lowe's Home Improvement Center near me to pick up mine, and just went in by the contractor entrance off to the side near the lumber and the different materials. And you'll find it here on the rack next to all the other concrete mixes. It's a little more expensive. I believe it's like $2 more a bag, but it's worth it. Now, it's very important that you calculate properly how much you're going to need. That way you have adequate material for the project that you're working on. Before you do any digging on your property, always make sure to call Miss Utility, have the lines marked. As we can see here, there's lines here, going out this way. You want to make sure that you're not hitting any gas lines, electric lines, water lines, telecommunication lines, any of that. So it's very important to call that in and get everything marked before you start. You want to make sure that the diameter of the hole is about 12 to 18 inches with the proper depth. I usually go with a 3-foot depth, but some areas I believe you can do 2 feet, so you might want to check that. Now, it is a little windy today as I'm filming this, so I apologize if there's any wind hitting the microphone, but you can see I already have the fence in place, this post. It is loose because it hasn't been set. I'm going to show you how I kind of get it in position. Now, we are dealing with a vinyl fence here, and with vinyl fencing, you don't want to go through and just concrete in all your posts as you could if you were doing a wooden fence. With the vinyl, you're going to have to set one and then build the piece and then set the next one, because you won't be able to pull it apart to get all of the supports in there properly. So we're going to head over there, but I just wanted to mention they do recommend about 2 bags of this Sakrete Fast Setting Concrete mix per post. So let's head over. I'll get it set. We'll build this all up. We'll pour this in, see how quick and easy it is to use, and then that'll wrap up this video. I like to take a little bit of dirt, put about 4 to 5 inches down around the post, put a little bit inside the post too, and that's just to set it properly and keep it solid. Some people use gravel, but I like to use dirt, just something to hold it in place. After we've gotten this a little bit set, we have that 4 to 5 inch packing of dirt around the bottom. Before we do any concrete and finish anything, we want to make sure everything is level. You can use a post level. You can buy those. I'm just using a regular level going across here. This is perfect. Line it up here. This needs to come in just a little bit here. And now that's level, but you want to do it before you put the concrete, because while you have that little bit of dirt, it's holding this somewhat steady, but it's not packed in all the way. So you can still maneuver it and it'll still hold it. We're going to go ahead and build the rest of this now, and then pack it in a little bit more, and then we'll add the concrete to lock everything in place. Everything is put together, and it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's a lot easier when this is loose because you can maneuver this a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is just make sure everything is still level, and then we'll start applying the water, and we'll get into that in a second, and then the concrete to it so we can set this. But let's check and make sure everything is level, and then we'll go ahead and start adding it. All right, this side is level. Let's try this one. This side is level as well. It's a little windy, so the wind is moving the post around, causing the level to bounce around, but it is level. So we can go ahead and set it. With that layer of dirt there, we tack it down real good. Get a nice solid base to hold this thing steady so it doesn't move around when we install onto it. And then we'll be back to check the level on it and then start adding the concrete mixture. The next step, now that everything's in place, this has been checked again, nice and level. We have it packed down in around the base so it's not going to shift. We're going to take a bucket of water. We're going to fill the hole with about 1/3 of water, and then we can start dumping the bags of Sakrete, this fast setting concrete, into the hole, and then it'll just bond with the water and harden up. So let's start pouring it in. I pour a little bit into the opening here if you're using a line post, so we can pour some of the concrete mix in there as well to harden inside of there. We'll get our first bag. There's an arrow here at the top. That's where we're going to rip it. Open this up. We'll start pouring it in. Get it inside that opening since we did put water in there as well. You want to go all around too, on all sides. We're done with our first bag. Going to get the second one and then continue filling it. Spread this out. Everything has been put in. We're going to let it dry now. You'll see a difference in this stuff just in a couple minutes. You'll see it starting to cure up a little bit, but they say 30 minutes, so let's give it 30 minutes. We'll be back to take a look at it, and then we'll wrap this up. I'm going to be moving on to the rest of this. I'm not going to show it in the video, but we'll be back in 30 minutes to see how it hardens up and wrap up this video on how to use this fast setting concrete mix by Sakrete. We are at 20 minutes now, and if we touch it, it's a little bit of like a wet clay feel, but it's already hardening really good. If we look here at the pole, let's see, it's hard to tell, but this thing is getting pretty solid already. So we'll be back in 10 more minutes. That'll be the 30-minute mark, and see how it's looking. It's been about 30 minutes since we put this in. Feeling it across the top, it doesn't have that kind of a wet clay kind of feel like we saw when we were at that 15-20 minute mark. It's a little more firm, not completely cured. So I'm going to let it set for probably another 10 more minutes, and then we'll be back to take a look at it again. Everything is properly hardened. While I was waiting, I just went ahead and put this last piece in. That one right now is curing as well. But let me get a close-up, and then we'll wrap up this video. Here you can get a better look at it. all nice and hardened in. And if we head up here to the post, we'll take a look. You can see how stable it is. That thing is stable, nice and solid. And as mentioned already in this video, what I like about this is because it sets in 30 minutes. So literally once you mix it and put it in, within maybe 5 minutes or so, it's already starting to get a grip there. So nothing's going to shift. In the past, I've used regular concrete. You got to wait 24 hours. Then you got to make sure everything is set level, because if it shifts a little bit before it properly dries, then you got a problem. This is good because just in a few minutes, make sure that it's stable, and then it takes it from there. And then in 30, or in this case here was a little bit longer, let's say 30, 40 minutes, it properly dries, you can keep moving on with your project. If you're doing vinyl fencing, if you're doing wood fencing, then you can set all of them at once. But with the vinyl, because you got to build it, this is just better in my opinion, because you can keep moving, it doesn't delay you. So that wraps up this video on how to use the Sakrete Fast Setting Concrete mix. I hope that this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you out if you're doing any projects with posts or fencing and things like that. Kind of show you how easy it is to use this. Please send me any questions and comments. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I appreciate all the support. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Constantly posting content, home improvements, car repair, do-it-yourself videos. I'll see you next time.